So, Ms. Thrash, what programs do we have at Ravenscroft to help with poverty around our community?
We have a few activities where you can actually get hands-on service to help people in the community, the neighborhood around Raleigh and North Raleigh. We like to do Warmth for Wake on Saturdays. You've heard of it with the axe. You have to be 16 to 18 years old. And they actually chop wood that is donated and deliver it straight to the homes of people who need the heat. Like, there are actually houses that just use a stove for heat. And gleaning is a really good one because unlike gathering cans or going out to buy cans, you actually are hands-on with good food for people, and it goes to local food pantries on the day that we glean, so they're getting food to the plate that weekend. And right now we're having our Wake Relief Canned Food Drive, and that's where we're going to take food to a food pantry in downtown Raleigh, and that gets distributed to families who have verified need in the area.
How can students make an impact outside of clubs at Ravenscroft?
So we formed the Community Service Board, which will give students an opportunity to create their own projects or their own clubs that will be based on finding a need in the community and then answering it, whether it be through fundraising for a cause that they believe in or volunteering for something that they really have wanted to work with. So when you get in contact with Community Service Board, we'll help you plan a good project, and we'll also help your club get the word out that that's what you're doing and get more people involved, so that it's not all Key Club doing all the service. We realize more people want to do service, and that's a good thing for Key Club and for Ravenscroft and for everyone.
We're here with Austin Moore, who founded Ravenscroft Gleaning. Now, Austin, what is gleaning?
So you go to a field after it's been harvested and you take crops and give it to the poor.
That's awesome. Now, who receives these crops you pick up?
So whoever needs it, they'll contact the food shuttle and then they'll tell us where we need to take it all. I don't actually do that. The food shuttle does that. We just give it to the food shuttle.
Okay, so you guys are kind of feeding the, I guess, people who are impoverished around our community.
Yeah.
That's awesome. How can students sign up for gleaning?
So it's pretty sporadic because it takes them a while to find a field. So we'll find a field like right before we have to go. So then I'll make a sign-up sheet and then it fills up like crazy.
And how did you get involved / kind of start up the whole gleaning craze in the Ravenscroft community?
So I became project chair in 10th grade and I didn't really know what it was. And so for my first gleaning, I organized it and I got like 4 people to sign up and I was like, this isn't very good. So I campaigned a ton, I made a ton of announcements and innuendos during the morning meeting, and then I got like 30 people to sign up, and then like since then,
It's just been growing?
yeah.
Well, it's an awesome thing you're doing, Austin.
Thank you.
So Zachary, what is Warmth for Wake?
Jack, Warmth for Wake is a community service project where you help provide wood for those who cannot afford it otherwise. And you'll go out on a Saturday morning and chop and deliver the wood.
Now, where does this wood get delivered to?
It'll go to people who can't afford to buy wood otherwise or chop it on their own, and we'll deliver to around 60 to 70 houses a year.
That's awesome. How can you get involved in this great program?
Just sign up on Miss Lieberman's door.
Okay, as you can see, this is a map of the U.S. and it is showing the different levels of poverty in the year 2010. And the purple represents 16% of the population of the state in poverty. And then the darker blue represents 13% of the population in poverty. And the lighter blue represents 11% and the white represents less than 11%. And as you can see, the South has a lot of poverty in Michigan, and the North isn't too bad. So yeah.
Hello everyone. As you can see, this is another map of the United States. However, this map represents the crime rate and arrest per 100,000 residents in the state. The darkest dark of the red is 12,000 arrests per 100,000 residents, which is in California. As you can see, the South and the West are generally more have a higher crime rate than their comparatives in the North and the West.
So the cost of living for an average family of 2 adults and 2 children is $41,907 annually. And this includes the cost of food, medical care, housing, and transportation. And the annual taxes are $7,431. And the required annual income after the taxes is $34,476.
So there's like about 12 different governmental programs working in North Carolina to aid these people, and some of them include the food stamp program, which gives a little credit card that can be used at like the grocery store, and that's monthly, and you swipe it and you can buy your food that way. And to be eligible for like a family of 4, you have to make a maximum income of around $48,000 a year. And then they do the Medicaid program, which is if you're like disabled or elderly but you can't afford health insurance, then it gives you free health insurance because you have to be someone who like needs it and you have to be a U.S. citizen. And then the last one they do is like unemployment insurance, which is if you're not working for a reason that you're not at fault for, like you got laid off or your company couldn't fund it anymore, then you have to be, if you're able to work throughout the weeks that they're providing insurance, they'll provide assistance for you to support yourself and your family. And then there are also the non-governmental programs, so like churches will do donations, or like schools, like our school does some stuff, and then that all contributes to it, and that's just non-profit, non-governmental programs.
Okay, Nate, what do you think is the leading cause of homelessness in the United States?
I think that drug and alcohol abuse is the leading cause of homelessness.
Well, actually, the leading cause of homelessness in the United States is loss of job, which accounts for over 35% of all homelessness in the United States. Nate, do you think more homeless people live in sheltered locations or unsheltered locations?
I would think that they would live in unsheltered locations.
Well, actually, 64% of all homeless people live in sheltered locations, such as homeless shelters and other organizations that help with homeless people. But the number is actually growing of the percentage of people that live in sheltered locations. So that's a good thing. What do you think that we, as a Ravenscroft community, could do to help homelessness in the United States?
Maybe we could do something like food drives, so and give homeless people some more food, somewhere to go.
I think that's really true. We do food drives, and we also could do more warmth for wake stuff. So yeah, thank you for sitting down and talking to us today.
Okay, so for part of our project, we wanted to interview a live source. So we interviewed a police officer from Raleigh.
Explanations as to why it exists. You know, is it inequality? Is it status-based? Is it people who don't have access to these means or these wants and needs that they want to have, and so they go out and steal it or commit crime to get it? So I think there's a relationship, but there's also other relationships that could also be a factor, and not just solely poverty. I think that's one part of it, one factor of crime, but I think there's just others.
This clip backs up our study that poverty is related to crime.